guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to our channel. For today's video, I'm actually going to be doing the first part of my Q&A. I asked you guys over on Instagram and also on Facebook groups to ask me questions about marriage and things like that. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram, I will have it right here so you guys can go follow it, and then in the next Q&A or the next videos that I film, you guys can be involved. So I'm going to get straight on into the questions because I don't want this video to be too long or longer just because of the intro. So the first question I got asked is, what is it like getting married young? For me, and also Brendan, I think getting married young was weird just because of how much of a negative reaction we got from a lot of people. Overall, getting married young was amazing and is still the best decision we've both made. We are almost at a year, 14 days actually, from being married for a whole year. And I definitely would not take away getting married just because of the negative impact that some people had and all the negative things that they had to say. Overall, the immediate people in our family really didn't have an issue with it, and they were also very, very supportive of us getting married young. So the second question is more geared to being a military wife, and it is, what is it like having to leave everyone you know / move away? So leaving initially seemed very, very daunting, and I was honestly terrified of that for the most part. But for me, leaving was honestly the easiest part of getting married young. I think more adapting to here was harder. I guess that would kind of play into this question anyway, but the overall experience of leaving wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I feel like I thought it was gonna be a lot worse, but it's not like I left. Like, I'm still there. We're still moving back to the area. We're not leaving everybody forever. So I guess that kind of helped. Leaving initially seemed very daunting, but overall, I'm very happy with the decision I made. I actually moved out here a year ago, May 11th, which is the day I'm uploading this video. And yeah, it's been a year that I've lived away from home, and I feel like it's been the best year of my life. One, I get to spend it with my best friend, and also I've been able to make a ton of memories. We got to adopt our dog Cooper. So the third question I got asked is, do you have any regrets? And overall, absolutely none. I don't regret a single thing about our wedding, anything. A lot of people see how our wedding went and they would be like, I would never want that or whatever, but honestly, we were both set on getting married in the courthouse, so having a little ceremony was better than nothing. So yeah, I wouldn't take back or say I regret anything from our day. The only thing I regret from our day is not having a photographer. That's the only thing, and I wish we had more photos about our actual wedding, but I think that we're going to do some sort of photo shoot maybe before we leave San Diego, just so that we have pictures of living in San Diego. The fourth question I got asked is, what are some of your favorite things about being married young / being married to somebody in the military? And overall, I feel like my favorite thing about being married young is that my husband and I get to experience life together. All of our firsts from now on are together. Like, one thing, we're experiencing our first pandemic together, like we are married. It's crazy to think about that way. Like, I don't know, it's just very surreal. Like, we are so far away from home, and during this pandemic it's kind of like realizing that, like, that makes sense. But also just like getting to experience life together. Like, one, we adopted our first dog together, and I'm very excited for the future and all of our firsts to come, like our first house, our first child, everything, just literally everything. So the next question I got asked is, when do you want to start having kids? And honestly, right now, we're 22 years old. We're about to turn 23, whatever. I think by the time we are 24, maybe turning 25 is when we'll have our first kid. Obviously, God willing. Yeah, Brendan and I have always wanted kids young. That was honestly one of my favorite things about him when I first met him, because we had talked about children maybe a day or two into meeting, and it was great. We both wanted kids relatively young, like 25 to 27. The next question is, do you get lonely when your husband is gone? Yes. I feel like that is just the easiest way to answer this, but yes. Brendan is gone every 6 days. Today is one of those 6 days. And honestly, I feel like, especially during this pandemic, I am so lonely. I feel like I am very stuck at home. Like, I know that we're always stuck at home during this. I don't know. I can just not wait for the world to go back to semi-normalcy, just so that way I can just go to the gym, like break up my day with little things like that. I feel like it's just so daunting to, okay, wake up in bed, and then I go out to the couch, and then I go onto the porch, like things like that. It's I don't know. It's hard to break up my day during this time, especially when Brennan's not home. The next question is, do you find that other military spouses exclude you because you are younger? I would say yes, but more so in a sense that like when I first moved out here, I posted on the military wife page on Facebook, and this one girl messaged me and asked what my husband's rank was, and then didn't respond to me because he has a lower rank. Yeah, I don't think it's because I'm younger, but more so because my husband hasn't been in the military for that long. Like, you would think that like, okay, your husband's been in for 10 years. You would think he'd be a higher rank, right? My husband's been in for 3 years. He's a lower rank. The next question is, do you want your husband to stay in for the full 20? So I really don't think I have any say in that. Obviously, I feel like I have a little bit of say, like saying like, oh yeah, I'll support you, but I feel like any wife should do that regardless of, or any significant other, regardless of what your husband is doing or your wife is doing. But as of right now, he's getting out of active duty and going to the reserves. Who knows, he might love the reserves and stay in for the rest of the 20, but as of right now, he does not like active duty, especially in the Navy. The next question I got asked is, how has the military changed your view on marriage? And I feel like for me, I feel like it's taught me that there's no guarantee of a tomorrow. Not like in a morbid way in any sense, but yes, obviously in that way. But like, the time that I have with my husband is precious. For me, my husband's on a ship. He can go underway at any given time. He was underway like 2 weeks ago, and we only had like a few days notice. Yeah, I feel like it's taught me to spend more quality time regardless of what we're doing. So the next question, I feel like I kind of already answered, but it is, was it hard moving away from everyone you know to a place where you don't know anyone? I would say yes, but I was lucky enough to know a few people before moving out here. My husband, every time that I would come out to visit before we got married, we would go to this nacho place, and I would always say like, invite your coworkers and invite like their wives or their fiancés. So the next question is, how did you meet your husband? I don't know if we've ever touched on it in a video, but Brendan accidentally added me on Snapchat. Very weird. We don't really know how he accidentally added me. We don't have really any mutual friends, nothing. It just happened to be that we lived 45 minutes apart. It's a crazy story, but as soon as I started talking to him, I had like this immediate connection. And then as soon as I met him, I knew he was the one. Like it's just crazy. The next question is, how did you make friends? Again, I knew some people before I moved out here, but once I got out here, I joined the like military wife page. I wouldn't say that this is like the best way to make friends, but I just like commented and said like, hey, I just moved out here. I was 21 at the time, and my husband and I just got married. I'd love to make some friends, and I met a few people from there. Next question is, what are other people's reactions to you getting married young? Overall, the people that I care about all knew that it was happening, all like kind of expected it. The people that had problems with it had no reason to have an opinion of it in any way, shape, or form. They're all entitled to their opinions, but they didn't impact me in the slightest. Also, like Rachel Hollis says, like, other people's opinions of you is none of your business. So yeah. Next question is, how did your parents react to you wanting to get married young? Overall, I think that they knew that it was coming. I think that they would have wished that we had a wedding a different way and more so like a traditional wedding, but again, I never wanted that, so it's not like something that I'm missing out of or that I'm going to regret in the future. The only thing I regret is not having a photographer. The next question goes along with the last one, is, were your parents okay with you getting married young? I think that my parents were kind of cautious about it a little bit, but more so I feel like that's how they'd be with whatever age that we were getting married. Just asking like, are you sure that this is the one? Different things like, do you have the same values? Asking just like normal questions. And overall, I think that they were all right with me getting married young. I mean, I feel like they wouldn't support it in any way. So yeah, I'm very lucky that they supported it. The last question I got asked is it hard to be taken seriously? The short answer, yes, it is very hard to be taken seriously. But the long answer is that no, it isn't that hard to be taken seriously if you have the right people in your life. The people that support you in everything are going to support you regardless. But yeah, my marriage does not affect anyone in the slightest other than me and my husband. So the people that have a negative connotation or however they feel about our marriage, if they are supportive of our marriage, thank you. But if you are not, your opinion is not needed. But yeah, I'm very sorry that I got a little heated with that last question. I probably refilmed that clip maybe 6 times because I don't know, I feel like I wasn't like really giving my opinion or answer to that question the way that I feel like I should. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in our next video.